Back in 2009, a group of teenagers was out camping in the remote woods of Oklahoma, goofing off with a gas-soaked bottle and filming their antics for fun. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, just a typical night in the wilderness. But when they reviewed the footage later, they spotted something chilling they hadn't noticed before. Lurking in the background between the trees was a gray figure, silent, almost ghost-like. It moved with an eerie grace, not quite human, but not fully animal either. None of them had seen or heard it in person that night, and to this day, no one online has been able to identify what it was. Can you? As this man ventured into the woods to cut down a tree, he witnessed something truly bizarre.
Get down close to it.
There's air coming out of this tree.
Trying to catch its breath.
Yeah.
Like me, short winded. I never seen a tree do that.
No, it's still...
The moment his axe struck the trunk, whoosh, a powerful burst of air shot out, almost like the tree was exhaling. It might sound supernatural, but there's a fascinating scientific reason behind it. Trees are filled with tiny vessels, think of them as nature's version of veins, that can trap and release air under the right conditions. While staying at a historic hotel in Windsor, one guest accidentally captured something truly chilling. In the photo, a ghostly figure of a young girl seems to appear, almost too clearly to ignore. This building, standing for over a century, has long been whispered about for its paranormal activity. Guests and staff alike have reported eerie encounters. A little girl seen roaming the hallways, disembodied laughter echoing through the night, and faint voices with no source. Skeptics point to tricks of light or pareidolia, the brain seeing faces where none exist. But others say this image might finally be the proof believers have been waiting for. While mapping out her next backpacking adventure using Google Street View, Reddit user Embarrassing0001 stumbled upon something downright bizarre. One image showed a cyclist seemingly absorbing energy from another person. At least, that's what Redditors claimed as they dove headfirst into Hollywood physics to make sense of the surreal scene. In the third image, things got even weirder. The cyclist looked like they were taking off. Was this just a quirky camera glitch, a mind-bending optical illusion, or a real-life glitch in the Matrix? No one knows for sure, but the post quickly became a hotbed for wild theories and hilarious speculation. So, what do you think is going on here? This eerie footage was captured on a relative's trail camera deep in the woods, and what it shows is downright unsettling. A group of women, all dressed in white, stood silently among the trees. No clear faces, no explanation, just there. What were they doing out there in the dead of night? Some kind of ritual? A lost group? Or something even darker? Whatever the answer is, one thing's for sure. This isn't something you'd ever want to stumble upon alone. This user was deep in a forest in Switzerland when he heard it, a blood-curdling scream echoing through the night. At first, he thought it had to be an animal, maybe a fox. But here's the thing, this forest doesn't have foxes. None. Not a single one. Some strange incident happened years ago that wiped them all out, and ever since the area's been completely fox-free. But the sound that was heard? It wasn't an animal. It sounded exactly like children screaming. Multiple voices calling out from somewhere in the darkness. He stood frozen in the middle of the forest, miles from the nearest town, with no explanation for what I was hearing. No lights, no movement. Just those haunting cries, as if they were circling me. So what was it? Who or what was making those sounds in a forest where no living creature should be making them? Before we jump into the next encounter, I just want to take a moment to thank and congratulate all of you. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. We are working harder than ever to bring you the scariest and most entertaining hiking encounters out there. Our goal? To take this channel to the top, and nothing's gonna stop us. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and enjoy the rest of the show. When we hit 10,000, a few lucky subscribers will get a surprise. Just make sure you're subscribed and have liked the video. Want a better chance to win? Drop a comment with your thoughts on the clips. Now let's dive back into the video. Late one night, campers gathered around a roaring fire, laughing, telling stories, when suddenly, something changed. The air grew colder, and then, someone spotted it. Just beyond the flickering flames, a white figure, barely visible. Arms stretched wide as if it was reaching out. But reaching for what? Or who? While hiking, this person saw something strange in the woods and decided to go back. Curiosity got the better of him, so he grabbed a flashlight, camera, and headed into the forest to see if he could find anything, or explain what he thought he saw. He wasn't expecting much, just a quiet walk, maybe a spooky vibe or two. Then he hit record and filmed for about 15 minutes just in case. But here's where it gets weird. While he was out there, he didn't see anything unusual. But when he played back the footage later that night, something was there, clear as day, standing in the middle of the path, still, watching. It looked like a ghost, or something pretending to be human. The figure wasn't moving, just staring. It wasn't a trick of the light. It wasn't some blurry shadow. The camera picked it up perfectly, almost too perfectly. And yet, we never saw it in person. Only the lens caught it. So now I have to ask, who or what was standing there in the middle of the woods that night? Was it something supernatural? Or could someone be staging this? This person took their dog for a late-night walk through a forest they usually avoid after dark. Everything seemed normal until the dog, usually playful, stuck nervously by their side. As they passed abandoned houses deep in the woods, the dog lagged. This person called out, "Coco, let's go, we need to go." But the moment they turned their back, they heard their voice repeat those exact words from behind them. Same tone, same delivery, but they hadn't said it again. So, who or what did? Was someone hiding in the woods? A mimic? Or was this person lured into something far more terrifying? Kaylin Schulte and Crystal Turner were living their dream, a free-spirited life on the road, hopping from one campsite to another in their trusty van. But something felt off on the night of August 15th, 2021. During a call with friends, they mentioned a strange man lurking near their campsite, making them uneasy. Later that night, at a local bar, they voiced their fears again that someone nearby was creeping them out. They planned to leave the area the next day, but they never got the chance. On August 18th, their bodies were discovered near their campsite, both shot and left in the wilderness they loved so much. The warnings haunted friends and family the couple had given just days before. Months passed with no answers until May 2022, when police finally named a suspect, Adam Pinkusiewicz. He had already taken his own life shortly after the murders, but not before confessing to someone that he had killed 2 women in Utah, revealing chilling details only the killer could have known. Kaylin and Crystal's adventurous journey was tragically cut short not by nature, but by a predator hiding in plain sight. A Reddit user recently dared to explore an abandoned town under the cover of night, but what they encountered still haunts them. Amid the crushing silence, they heard it. The unmistakable sound of children laughing and whispering. In a town that's been deserted for years, how could that be?
¿Eres una niña? Oy, güey, sí oye que están hablando, güey. Oy. Oigan. Hola. Ay. Ay.
Para allá, güey. Yo lo escucho para acá, carnal.
Sí, para allá se escucha, güey. Niña, ¿puedes venir a jugar con nosotros?
Some say the voices were echoes of the past, the restless spirits of children who once lived there. Others chalk it up to the wind playing tricks, or perhaps an eerie coincidence of nature. But in that shadow-choked place, with nothing but darkness pressing in, the line between reality and the supernatural began to blur. On March 3rd, 2023, in the quiet town of Mount Vernon, Georgia, a woman was casually snapping sunset photos of her brand new porch. At the time, everything seemed perfectly normal. But years later, while scrolling through those old pictures, her daughter spotted something bone-chilling. A shadowy figure standing silently on the porch. The home sits deep in Civil War territory, eerily nestled between two historic graveyards, Adams Cemetery and the Basil Connell Family Cemetery. Though there haven't been many reports of paranormal activity in the house, the woman admits to feeling unexplained cold spots from time to time. So, did she unknowingly capture a ghostly visitor from the past? On their way home from a rainy hike, a group of friends captured something bone-chilling on camera. A mysterious hand appeared out of nowhere, pressed against the windshield, and then vanished without a trace. The rain was hammering down, the car was speeding through slick roads, and yet somehow, the moment was caught in perfect clarity. At first, skeptics dismissed it as a hoax, but when they looked closer at the weather, the speed, the angle, doubts started creeping in. Pulling off a prank that convincing under those conditions? Nearly impossible. Some believe it was the ghost of a local legend reaching out. Others swear it had to be a clever illusion. But no matter what theory you believe, no one has ever explained what happened. Around 2 a.m., a woman called her friend with an unusual request. She wanted to visit an old forgotten cabin hidden deep in the woods on private land. The place had been abandoned for years, with only wild animals occasionally roaming inside. When they got there, the cabin was eerie, filled with unsettling remnants of the past, but nothing outright terrifying. It wasn't until they were driving away that things took a chilling turn. As they sat in the back of the truck, casually recording their ride home, a blood-curdling scream suddenly echoed through the woods. What made it even more disturbing? The scream sounded exactly like the woman's mother, but her mother was sitting right next to her in the truck. To this day, they have no idea who or what let out that scream. While out camping and hunting one night, a man captured a chilling photo that has left people puzzled ever since. In the middle of a wide open meadow, something strange appears in the darkness, a faint, shadowy figure lurking in the distance. The image is blurry, making it nearly impossible to identify exactly what it is. But one thing is clear, it looks like someone or something is watching. Since the photo surfaced, theories have run wild. Was it just a curious animal? An eerie optical illusion? Or could it have been something far more sinister hiding in plain sight? Some even suggest it might have been an owl, but others aren't so sure. While riding his bike, this person heard something chilling. An isolated baby's cry echoing through the middle of nowhere. In many cultures, that sound is more than unsettling. It's believed to be the call of a jinn. Others fear it could be a sinister trap, possibly tied to human trafficking. The haunting cry forced a terrifying question. Do you stop and try to help, or keep going and protect yourself? What would you have done? While camping near a quiet river, one Redditor's friend captured something bone-chilling on camera. A mysterious figure draped in what looked like a robe. According to them, it moved swiftly and silently. Almost too silently. The eerie details made the whole encounter feel like something straight out of a ghost story. But here's the creepiest part. This wasn't the first time they saw it. The figure had appeared twice before, vanishing before anyone could snap a photo. Now that it's finally been caught on camera, the internet is divided. Some say it's just shadows playing tricks. Others are convinced it's the real deal. What do you see? A glitch of light? Or a ghost in plain sight?
Holy shit!
A few years back, a family took a trip to Jeffrey's Cliffs in Hawkville, Kentucky. It was supposed to be a peaceful day of hiking and snapping photos of the kids, but one picture revealed something far from ordinary. In the background, a blurry, shadowy figure loomed just behind the group. The unsettling part? According to the mom, no one else was anywhere near them when the photo was taken. Deep in a remote California forest, a lone explorer navigates the darkness with only a flashlight. As the beam cuts through the eerie silence, he suddenly stops. The camera captures his hushed, anxious whispers.
You think that was a coyote? What do you think that was? What was it? Do you see it where?
Whoa.
Holy crap!
What is that?
Holy...
In the distance, a strange figure moves, towering and eerily human-like in its gait. Its skin shimmers with a reptilian texture, covering its head, arms, and body. The dim light and grainy footage make it impossible to identify. A trick of the shadows? Someone in a suit? But if so, why would anyone be out here, in the middle of nowhere, dressed like that? While camping in the depths of Ottawa National Forest, a group of adventurers experienced a chilling encounter. Strange movements flickered through the shadows, and a mysterious figure lurked among the trees. At the time, they brushed it off as a passing animal, unable to make out its form in the darkness. But when they reviewed their footage later, their hearts pounded. What they captured on camera wasn't just an animal, it was something far more unsettling. One night, a man was driving down a pitch-black road when out of nowhere, chaos erupted. A gang of men wielding machetes burst onto the scene, charging straight at his car. Heart racing, he slammed the gear into reverse and tore backward into the darkness. The machete wielders gave chase, but after a terrifying few seconds, he managed to shake them off, barely escaping with his life. A man was enjoying a quiet run along a remote trail in eastern British Columbia when his peaceful jog took a terrifying turn out of nowhere.
Holy shit!
A massive grizzly bear burst onto the path. Without a second thought, the runner bolted, adrenaline kicking in as he sprinted for his life. For a few heart-pounding seconds, the bear gave chase. One wrong step, one slip, and it could have been the end. But luck and sheer endurance carried him to safety. While trekking through the desolate desert of southern New Mexico, a Reddit user came across something deeply disturbing. Half buried in the sand was a single woman's shoe, torn and shredded like it had been chewed by something not quite natural. There were no other belongings, no footprints, no tracks leading in or out, just that one mangled shoe sitting eerily alone in the middle of nowhere. It's almost impossible to believe someone simply lost it and didn't notice, especially out there, where isolation feels almost otherworldly. So now the question lingers like a whisper on the wind. What really happened to the woman who wore it? And more chillingly, is she even still human? On May 18th, 2024, what started as a calm, tethered hot air balloon ride turned into a heart-stopping moment.
Don't let, as long as she doesn't let go.
That would be bad.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, her feet.
As the balloon began to rise, a woman suddenly latched onto the outside of the basket, completely unnoticed by the passengers and crew. Dangling high above the ground with nothing but her grip keeping her alive, she held on for dear life. Thankfully, she managed to cling to the basket until the balloon touched down again. But for a few terrifying minutes, everyone watching thought they were about to witness a tragedy. It was a shocking reminder. Even a safe adventure can go wrong in an instant. While camping deep in the woods, this man made a discovery that would haunt anyone. An eerie mask, half buried in the mud, staring up at him with a twisted, unsettling design. There were no clues to who it belonged to or why it was there, but the moment he laid eyes on it, he felt a chill run down his spine. Was it just a discarded costume piece, or a silent witness to something far more sinister? A climber recently posted a jaw-dropping video that delivers a powerful safety reminder.
Alrighty, boys. This is why you tie knots in the end of your rope, or else you might just wrap off the end. Yeah, baby! Yeah! This is nutty! Look at that view!
Alrighty boys, this is why you always tie a knot at the end of your rope, just seconds before slipping right off the end. No knot, no warning, and a sudden drop that'll make your stomach flip. The footage is a gripping wake-up call. No matter how experienced you are, skipping even one basic safety step, like tying a stopper knot, can turn a routine rappel into a life-threatening fall. Climbing isn't just about strength or skill. It's about respecting the process. Most climbing accidents happen during rappelling, and this is exactly why. One night, as someone wandered outside, they spotted something truly bizarre. A bicycle riding itself, not rolling downhill, not pushed by the wind. This thing was pedaling forward, on its own. No rider, no strings, no tricks, just a bike, moving like it had a mind of its own. So if no one was on it, what was? After a heated argument at home, Talia decided to escape into the woods for a peaceful glamping trip with her loyal Dalmatian. Everything seemed perfect until the clock struck 11 p.m. That's when she heard it.
Yeah, because what is that? Let's go inside. Let's go inside. It sounds super far away, but like, no, what is that? Yo, come on. Come on, Yoke. He came inside so fast. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but we...
At first, she thought her dog was acting up just to get her attention. But then, that sound. A blood-curdling scream tore through the forest, sending chills down her spine. Terrified, Talia and her dog rushed inside and stayed up the rest of the night, too scared to sleep. By morning, they packed up and left, vowing never to return. But the strange part? This wasn't the first haunting reported at that very site. This video was filmed deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a place shrouded in mystery and known for one eerie phenomenon, a faint whisper of the word "hey" that many claim to hear. For years, people brushed it off as a hoax or clever marketing, until Allie captured something chilling on camera. The view was amazing, worth the effort. But while recording nature for her Snapchat, something unexpected happened. A whisper, clear and unsettling, cut through the silence. Hey, was it just the wind? Or was something or someone watching from the trees? A couple who had been living peacefully off the grid started noticing something strange on their property one day. From a distance, it looked like a man wrapped in a blue tarp, but something about it was wrong. The way it moved was eerie, unnatural, almost inhuman. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. When they returned to the spot later, it was like nothing had ever been there. No footprints, no snapped branches, no sign of disturbance, just the eerie footage they managed to capture. So who or what was that? And how did it end up in such an isolated place? While out walking their dog near a nuclear power plant, a Reddit user stumbled upon some bizarre, unidentifiable objects, and naturally, they shared the strange discovery online. To their surprise, other users chimed in with their own photos of the same mysterious items from the same area. The weirdest part? No one knows what they are or where they came from. In Brazil, a group of men were digging, likely prepping the land for farming, when something bizarre happened.
Mexe aqui, ó. Ó, quanto mais mexe, mais o fogo. Tem condição disso, cara? Você viu no meio do nada aqui, ó. No alto, ó. Ó. O fogo aí, ó. Mexe de novo, fez aqui na brincadeira, nossa. Aqui, ó, aqui na frente, aqui. Ó. Lógico que não tem desse, cara. Ó. Mexe mais aqui no meio aqui, quer ver? Na frente lá.
As they dug deeper, actual flames began erupting from the ground. Not steam, not smoke, real fire. And it didn't stop, it grew stronger the more they dug. Some believe it was a pocket of natural gas, like methane, finally escaping and igniting from the pressure or a spark. But not everyone buys that explanation. In spiritual circles, there are whispers that it could be something far more mysterious, perhaps a sacred site disturbed or cursed ground awakened by mistake. Whatever the truth is, fire bursting from the earth isn't just strange, it feels like a warning. On October 3, 2019, a group of hunters were deep in the forests of Ontario when an unexpected sound stopped them in their tracks. Out of the silence came a bone-chilling scream, deep, guttural, and filled with what sounded like raw agony. Oh my God. The hunters froze, eyes darting through the trees, straining to see what creature could make such a noise. But whatever it was, stayed hidden. The haunting wail echoed through the forest for minutes, unrelenting, eerie, and unlike anything they'd ever heard. Some claim it had to be an animal, but no one could agree on what kind. To this day, no one knows what was out there or what cried out in the dark that night. On July 16, 2006, two brothers set out for a hike in the dense forests of Tofino, leaving their family behind at a nearby campground. Aware of the area's reputation for wildlife encounters, they brought along a video camera just in case. As they ventured deeper into the woods, a large, dark figure suddenly appeared in the distance.
Maybe. Oh, God. Wait, come here. Come here. Look at that. This is. He ran backwards, right? Over there somewhere. See, that could be a possible footprint. I don't know. Could be.
Wait, stay back!
For several tense seconds, they watched. Then, as one brother stepped forward for a closer look, the other yanked him back. Alarmed, they retreated about 50 meters. After waiting in silence, curiosity got the better of them, and they cautiously returned to the spot. Standing in the shadow of a towering tree, they tried to make sense of what they had seen. The creature, an estimated 7 feet tall, slightly hunched, had locked eyes with them before vanishing into the wilderness. What did they see that day? A misidentified animal or something more? Over the years, strange sightings have been reported around Chernobyl, the site of one of the world's worst nuclear disasters and now a haunting radioactive wasteland. Recently, a chilling video surfaced online, allegedly filmed in the area. In it, a bizarre creature crawls across the ground with a jerky, unnatural movement. Its body is patchy with matted brown fur, but large areas appear hairless and raw, like something's seriously wrong. Some viewers believe it's just a starving wolf or a mangy stray dog, but others think it might be something far more disturbing, something twisted by radiation, a mutation that nature never intended. What do you think it is? While hiking a remote high-altitude trail, a group of adventurers got more than they bargained for. Their detector suddenly picked up a strange signal coming from beneath the snow. Curious, they started digging only to uncover what looked like the body of a bizarre, unknown creature.
I got a very strong signal. What? What? What the heck is that thing? Oh my God.
Some are convinced it might be a Yeti. But is it a genuine discovery or an elaborate hoax? And if it is staged, how on earth would someone pull off something this convincing in the middle of nowhere? A group of hikers found themselves deep within the snowy wilderness of Finland. The only sounds were the crunch of boots on frozen ground and the whisper of wind through the trees until everything changed.
Mistä vitusta toi tulee?
Out of nowhere, a strange metallic hum pierced the silence, not from the forest itself, but from the sky above. It was cold, mechanical, and unlike anything they'd ever heard. The hikers stood frozen, staring upward as the unsettling sound echoed through the treetops for nearly 10 minutes. They caught it all on camera, but to this day, no expert has been able to explain what it was. No animals, no machinery, no natural cause, just a haunting hum in the Finnish wilderness, and a mystery that still has no answer. Two friends decided to explore an abandoned train station in East Belgium one night, hoping for a bit of thrill and adventure. As they arrived, a strange atmosphere hung in the air, unnaturally quiet, yet filled with distant, unsettling sounds. There were faint thuds, the screeching of metal, and an eerie mechanical humming that seemed to come from somewhere behind the old, rusting trains.
What the fuck, ouwe? Wat is... Oh, weet je ik zit kanker in.
Drawn toward the noise, the two stumbled upon a massive, dark warehouse standing silently behind the tracks. The sound seemed to be coming from inside. As they moved closer to investigate, the unsettling noises only grew louder and more complex, as if something or someone was at work in the shadows. Then, out of nowhere, flashlights flickered on in the distance. Several figures appeared on the tracks, moving slowly and deliberately, scanning the area with intent.
Gasten, lopen er mensen in de trein? Ze hebben helmen op. What the fuck gebeurt daar? Er lopen gewoon mensen in die trein en we horen kanker en je muziek. Zullen we dichterbij? Gast, ik wil kijken, ouwe. Ik moet weten wat er is. Ik moet het weten.
Niemand gaat er gaan voor het verloren.
Friends froze, realizing these people weren't just passing by. They were searching. Spooked, the pair retreated, hiding in the dark and watching as the mysterious figures in overalls moved methodically through the station. Despite their fear, curiosity got the better of them. They waited until the coast seemed clear, then went back in for one final look. The sounds were even stranger now, less random, more rhythmic, almost like a hidden pattern or signal.
What the fuck? Filmen.
Suddenly, the flashlights returned, this time closer than before. In a panic, the friends sprinted back to their car and fled the area. Still unsettled and eager to understand what they had witnessed, the two approached some women living nearby. When they asked about the noises and the men, the women did not explain, just a warning. It's dangerous near those tracks at night. Months later, the friends couldn't let it go. They returned to the site, hoping to find answers. The sounds were still there, just as mechanical, just as haunting. The men in overalls were still patrolling the tracks and the warehouse, almost like guardians of a forgotten secret. Then, without warning, a scream shattered the silence. Loud, human, terrified.
Die geluiden goed kunnen horen. Ik zie mensen lopen in de trein. Trein. Ze hoor je schreeuwen. Ja, mensen schreeuwen. Ik hoor ook mensen schreeuwen, hoor. Gast! Yo! What the fuck? Ik weet niet of je het hoorde.
Ik hoorde net een man schreeuwen. Okay, dit.
Panicked once again, they ran. But this time they couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't just hearing things. They were being watched. Desperate to find out what was going on, they eventually spoke to a hotel receptionist in the nearby town.
Ik weet dat hij een escape was van de deur, dus dat het eigenlijk was. Dus een escape room, ja, dat is van die escape.
The conversation finally revealed pieces of the mystery, but whether the full truth was ever uncovered, or if they even wanted to know it, remains unclear. This person stumbled upon something truly chilling during a visit to the notorious Gilson Cemetery in Nashua, a place steeped in ghost stories and eerie folklore. In a TikTok video that's quickly gaining attention, Amy performs a 360-degree scan of the graveyard, only to reveal a mysterious, shadowy figure lurking in the background.
Do me a favor, go to Google Maps right now from wherever you are. Put in Gilson Cemetery, Nashua, New Hampshire. It is a historical site rumored to be haunted. Blah, blah. Go on Street View, take a 360, and take a little stroll down the road. Just look. There's a ghost right there.
While some skeptics are quick to dismiss it as just a blurry passerby, Amy is convinced there's more to it, something not entirely of this world. Gilson Cemetery has long been haunted by tales of a ghostly woman in white, the haunting cries of a lost baby, and now, maybe, a new spirit caught on camera. Back in 2022, a TikToker named Kelly was venturing through the wild swamps of Florida's Everglades when she caught something strange on camera. It was a long, snake-like creature she'd never seen before. So bizarre, she wondered if she'd just discovered an entirely new species. Any guesses what it might have been? While driving alone through the desolate backroads of West Texas, a man spotted something that made his blood run cold. Far ahead, motionless in the middle of an abandoned lease road, stood a mysterious figure cloaked in a long, white gown. There was something off about it. Something deeply unnatural. As he crept closer, heart pounding, the figure suddenly vanished into thin air. No sound, no trace, no explanation. It wasn't a statue. It wasn't a person. So what was it? A train was gliding through the peaceful Australian countryside. Everything seemed perfectly normal. But then, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a white shape appeared by the tracks. At first, it looked like a swirl of mist, but then it began to take shape. It drifted silently across the tracks and vanished, just like that. The eerie part? The person filming didn't even notice it at the time. It was only later, when viewers started commenting, that they realized they might have caught something chilling on camera. A ghost. It was supposed to be just a fun camping trip, a group of friends hiking deep into the forest, and they decided to take some photos to remember it all. One of them, an experienced backpacker, decided to take a group photo before they packed up and left. At first glance, everything seemed normal. But when they looked back at the image later, something didn't sit right. There was a figure, faint, almost hidden, lurking in the tree. No one remembers seeing anyone else out there. No footsteps, no voices, just the quiet of the woods. So who, or what, was watching them from the shadows? A few hours ago, this person was just at home, heading into the bathroom. Nothing unusual until they opened the window. That's when they heard it.
Was zur Hölle?
A strange, distant noise echoing from the forest. It sounded like a massive crowd, like a stadium full of people shouting all at once. But here's the creepy part. They live in a tiny village in the middle of nowhere, Austria. No stadiums nearby, no events, just forest, mountains, and silence. Even weirder, they've always felt uneasy in those woods, like something's watching, like they're not supposed to be there. So what was it? Who or what was out there making that noise where no one should be? A group of fishermen off the coast of Bise couldn't believe their eyes. In the middle of the vast ocean, drifting alone on a tiny patch of floating debris, sat a man, calm, quiet, and completely unbothered. No waving for help, no signs of fear, just an eerie, almost surreal stillness, like he was meditating in the face of death. No one knows how he got there, no shipwreck, no distress call, just him, serene and silent, like he belonged to the sea. Rescuers arrived just in time to pull him to safety. But long after he was gone, one question remained. Who was the chilled man? This person was driving down a quiet road in Kentucky when suddenly a deer darted right in front of him. He had to swerve hard just to avoid hitting it. But then he notices something strange. The deer isn't running off like you'd expect. Instead, it's standing completely still, almost frozen. Curiosity gets the better of me, so he decided to pull over and head back for a closer look. That's when things get weird. Right next to the deer was a pale, almost glowing white figure. At first, he thinks his eyes must be playing tricks on him, but the more he stares, the clearer it becomes. It's like something out of a ghost story, standing silently beside the animal, unmoving. So, here's the question. Who or what was that shadowy presence? Was it just his imagination, or something far more chilling lurking in the Kentucky woods? This eerie image first made waves on Reddit back in 2020, accompanied by a bone-chilling caption. And honestly, at first glance, it's hard to argue. According to the post, the hunter had been making his way through a dim, misty forest when he noticed something strange, tall, motionless, and shaped like a human. It stood silently at the tree line, almost camouflaged against the forest floor. The hunter was convinced he wasn't alone. Something or someone was watching him. To him, it could only be a cryptid. But then, the internet did what it does best. Curious users began to analyze the image, zooming in and comparing details. And slowly, the truth began to emerge. It wasn't a creature at all. It was moss. More specifically, a type of moss or bark growth known as polyore, which can sometimes form oddly symmetrical, almost human-like shapes, especially in cold, damp forests like this one. So, what looked like a forest monster? It turned out to be nothing more than nature's twisted sense of humor, tricking our minds into seeing something that was never really there. A video shared by Reddit user Rick Musk comes from Dion, India, a place where locals often report hearing eerie cries and chilling screams near the railway tracks after dark, long after everyone else has gone home. Many believe these haunting sounds are the restless spirit of a woman who tragically lost her life in a train accident right at that very spot. Travelers passing through say they're gripped by an unshakable coldness, as if an unseen presence is silently watching them. The sounds don't match any known animal, so could there be some truth behind this ghostly tale? This person was flying over the Amazon in a creaky helicopter, scouting for wildlife shots. Below, the river twisted through dense jungle like a silver snake, until he realized one of the snakes wasn't the river. There it was, a massive serpent, over 30 feet long, gliding just under the surface. Its head broke the water, dark eyes, thick scales, moving slowly and sure like it ruled the jungle. He snapped photos, heart racing. From the sky, it was incredible, but he knew if he'd been hiking below, that thing could have swallowed him whole. Nature had made its point, again. Back in August 2005, a group of amateur ghost hunters ventured into an abandoned house deep in the woods. While filming their exploration, something chilling suddenly appeared on camera. A mysterious figure that sent them fleeing in terror. Keep in mind, video editing wasn't nearly as advanced or widespread back then, which adds a layer of authenticity to the footage. But was it a ghost? Or just someone lurking in the shadows? The mystery remains. While hiking deep in the remote woods of Finland, this man stopped to snap a photo of the breathtaking landscape. But when he looked at the picture later, he was stunned. In the background, something or someone was there. He insists the area was empty when he took the shot. So what did he capture? Was someone silently watching him? Or did he unknowingly photograph something paranormal? In Indonesia, a man filmed something mind-blowing. His footage reveals a towering creature striding beneath a waterfall. It moves on two legs, but it's far too massive to be any kind of ape. And let's be honest, Bigfoot in Indonesia? That doesn't quite add up. So the real question is, what exactly did he capture on camera? A kid was helping his dad move an old table out in the woods on their property. They picked it up, carried it a few steps, and that's when things got creepy.
So my dad and I just picked it up. Obviously it was tipped over, of course. And we picked it up under here and we carried it out. And when I flipped it over, guess what I discovered? Holy fucking shit. And I stuck my hands under there. That is freaky.
Crawling underneath was something big, fast, and seriously unsettling. Some believe it was a wolf spider. Others swear it was a dark fishing spider. Either way, it looked like something straight out of a nightmare. Now, while its bite probably wouldn't have caused major harm, just the thought of almost grabbing it with bare hands? Yeah, that's nightmare fuel. Would you have kept your cool or dropped the table and run? While hiking through a remote trail, a man suddenly froze far off in the distance. He spotted a group of figures dressed head to toe in white suits, moving with eerie precision. They were carrying something large, heavy, and completely unidentifiable. Intrigued and unsettled, he pulled out his phone and started recording from a hidden vantage point, careful not to draw attention. To this day, no one knows who those people were or what exactly they were transporting. But one thing is chillingly clear. It was something dangerous and not meant to be seen. While taking a midnight stroll, these guys spotted a woman sitting all by herself in the park.
Hey, Musum. Yeah, Jesus. Hello? Excuse me? Are you okay? Are you okay? Excuse me? Excuse me? Madam? Sorry.
But just as they got closer, she suddenly jerked in a strange, unseen way off camera, but clearly unsettling. Panic hit them like a wave, and they bolted. Some viewers think she was in the middle of a ritual, maybe even witchcraft, while others believe she might have been homeless or under the influence. Whatever the case, the eerie encounter was enough to leave them visibly shaken. While marking the boundaries of their newly purchased 20-acre off-grid property in the remote Arizona desert, a couple stumbled upon something they never expected: eerie and unsettling clues scattered across the barren landscape. It started innocently enough. They found a couple of old pesos lying in the dust. Odd, but not alarming.
Some sort of swamp.
What is it?
Then came a small child's shoe, partially buried.
So we found a little kid's shoe. We found a little kid's backpack. And we found this bone under that tree.
Who knows, though? Sorry, buddy.
That's when things took a darker turn. Near a tree, they uncovered bones.
This is deer.
Those are deer bones? Hope so.
Yeah. It doesn't look like a...
Doesn't that look like a really clean cut?
Shit, yeah, it does.
One, long and slender, looked disturbingly like a child's femur. Others nearby seemed like they could belong to a deer, though one was cut clean through, raising more questions than answers. A yoga mat, more bones, more questions. The couple, staying temporarily at a nearby RV park, decided to alert local border agents and contact the sheriff's office. The site sits within the harsh Sonoran Desert, a well-known but deadly passage for migrants, many of whom never make it out alive. So far, there's no official word on whether the bones are human, but the evidence is haunting, and the mystery remains unsolved. A group of friends was strolling down a quiet road that cut through the woods when they spotted a crumbling, abandoned house. Drawn by curiosity, they crept up to the doorway, and that's when they saw it. In the center of the ruined room stood a life-sized scarecrow. It wore a spotless black rain jacket, and its face was eerily hidden behind a smooth yellow plastic mask. It didn't look old or weathered. It looked too new. Someone had been there recently. None of them dared to step inside. Was it a twisted prank, or a warning of something much more sinister? While hiking through Pisgah National Forest near Hawkville Mountain, a Reddit user stumbled upon something unsettling. Tucked behind a dead leaf and pinned to a tree was a strange handwritten note covered in cryptic symbols and rambling messages. Disturbed and curious, they snapped a photo and shared it online, hoping someone could make sense of it. They weren't prepared for what came next. Reddit users quickly identified it as a squeal kill note, a bizarre, mysterious type of message that's been popping up in public spaces around Philadelphia for years. These notes are notorious for their chaotic mix of conspiracy theories, religious imagery, coded language, and wild references to everything from the CIA to secret societies. No one knows exactly who's behind them. Some say it's the work of someone battling mental illness. Others think it's protest art, or even a form of underground communication. Whoever the author is, one thing's clear: the messages are strange, unsettling, and unforgettable. While driving home from a hike, a group of friends caught something chilling on camera. A mysterious hand suddenly appears on the windshield, then vanishes without a trace. The rain was pouring, the car was speeding down the road, and yet, somehow, this eerie moment was captured in perfect detail. Skeptics were quick to call it a hoax, until they considered the conditions. Pulling off a fake under that kind of weather and motion? Nearly impossible. Some say it was the spirit of a local legend reaching out. Others still insist it was a well-planned illusion. But one thing's for sure, the footage has never been explained. A curious user recently shared some eerie deer cam footage. The first image seemed normal, but just an hour later, the next shot revealed a chilling 10-degree temperature drop and what looked like a human-shaped figure lurking in the frame. Sudden temperature drops are often linked to paranormal activity, but skeptics say it's likely just a strange coincidence. So what's going on here? A ghostly encounter? Or something with a perfectly logical explanation? The mystery remains up for debate. Brittany Keel from Richmond, Vermont, recently shared a chilling video that's been stirring up debate online. In the clip, eerie sounds can be heard echoing through the stillness of the night, usually around 2:30 a.m., when everything else is silent. While some viewers are convinced it could be cryptids like dogmen lurking in the dark, others argue it's nothing more than nature doing its thing. So, what do you think is really behind these midnight noises? This person shared a bone-chilling trail camera photo that's left the internet buzzing. Captured on a remote mountaintop far from any signs of civilization, the image shows a mysterious figure standing eerily still in the frame. With no clear explanation and no one supposed to be anywhere near the area, the sighting has sparked a wave of wild theories. Some say it's a ghost, others think it's a trespasser. But the most unsettling guesses? Something not quite human and not quite explainable. This eerie photo was snapped by an old neighbor during a visit to friends at Pike Lake in Webster, Wisconsin. According to the uploader, everyone was out kayaking at the time, and they're certain the neighbor doesn't have the know-how to edit photos. Yet, hovering near the lake is a strange, shadowy figure, one that looks far too human-shaped to be dismissed as a random glitch. Coincidence? Or something more unsettling? A Reddit user recently ventured into an abandoned town at night, but what they experienced was nothing short of chilling. Out of the pitch-black silence came the unmistakable sound of children laughing and whispering.
Oigan. Hola.
Hoy.
Hoy.
Para allá, güey. Yo lo escucho para acá, carnal.
Sí, para allá se escucha, güey. Niña, ¿puedes venir a jugar con nosotros?
Uy, la Choy.
Uy, güey, me
está hablando,
güey. Está hablando, güey. No mames. Está hablando, güey. Uy, güey, se oyen varios.
In a place long deserted, how could that be possible? Some believe the voices belong to restless spirits, ghosts of the town's former residents echoing through time. Others say it might have been a trick of the wind or a natural illusion. But in that eerie, forgotten town, with darkness closing in from all sides, the supernatural suddenly didn't seem so far-fetched. During a peaceful morning kayaking trip in Florida, this person experienced something unforgettable. As he glided past a thick patch of foliage, he suddenly spotted what looked like a dark face staring back at him from the trees. He couldn't get any closer, and with no clear explanation in sight, he questioned whether it was just pareidolia messing with his mind. Still, the sight was too eerie to ignore, so he snapped a photo and posted it online. hoping someone else could explain the chilling image. Back in 2015, a Reddit user's dad snapped a photo during a school party held deep in the forest. At the time, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But 4 years later, something chilling surfaced. A ghostly, childlike figure lurking in the background. No one at the party remembered seeing this mysterious child, and the uploader began to wonder, could this be the spirit of someone who died in those woods? The eerie figure appears faint and semi-transparent, only adding fuel to the theory that it's something supernatural. One commenter speculated it might just be another kid standing off to the side, pointing out that the children in the foreground seemed to be looking in its direction. But the uploader quickly clarified they were looking at the teacher. What do you think? Ghost, glitch, or something else entirely? While wrapping up his hike along the winding mountain trails, Jason suddenly heard an eerie voice whisper, "Hey!" Thinking someone might be lost or in need of help, he followed the sound deeper into the woods. But instead of finding a person, he stumbled upon something bizarre.
Guys, I don't know what's going on, but I'm up here in the mountains hiking a trail. Rain came in, and I'm on my way back to the parking lot to get to my car. And as I'm walking by, I could have swore I heard something say, "Hey." Figured I better document this. And then I've seen this. It looks like a chimney over there. What is that? An old, crumbling chimney standing alone, with no house or ruins in sight. Just the chimney. And then he heard it again. That's when it hit him. This wasn't someone calling for help. It's cool. This is neat. I heard it again. Oh, shit! This was something else. Gripped by a chill that had nothing to do with the weather, Jason turned and bolted, never daring to look back. While hiking alone on a mountain trail, Eric found himself caught on a dark, rain-soaked path as the sun dipped below the horizon. Trying to keep his spirits up, he pulled out his phone and began recording a light-hearted video for his friends. Behind him, in the shadows, a pair of glowing eyes appeared, watching. Eric didn't notice them at the time. He made it back safely, but when he later reviewed the footage, a chilling realization set in. Something had been following him in the darkness. Whether it was an animal or something else, he still doesn't know. While exploring the woods in search of the perfect hunting spot, Cake the Legend 69 snapped a photo that sent chills down her spine. In the background stood a mysterious figure completely alone. She swears it couldn't have been anyone from her group. They were all behind her, scattered in other parts of the forest. Later, they learned that the area was once home to a logging town that mysteriously vanished, leaving behind nothing but 13 forgotten graves with crumbling, time-worn headstones. Was it a glimpse into the paranormal, or is there a chilling but logical explanation lurking in those woods? While hiking near an old, abandoned BBC station that had been shut down since the 70s, a man decided to film a quick video to share with his friends. But when he sent it over, their replies weren't about the view. They were all asking the same thing. What was that strange sound in the background? Curious, he listened back, and this time, he heard it too.
To this day, no one knows what it was. Some say it's just a frog croaking. Others swear it's something else, something not alive.
Stop. Dude, what was that?
A YouTube user named Interroller recently visited the historic Manassas battlefield in Virginia.
And they were firing toward the Union Brigade, Cannon Brigade, which is next to the old Henry house. Along here. And old Mrs. Henry, 84 years old, an invalid, in the house. The house was hit by shells and she was of course killed.
Capturing some intriguing footage near the site of the old Henry house. This house, famously tied to the tragic story of 84-year-old Judith Henry, who was bedridden and killed during the Civil War when Union artillery shells struck her home, has long been a site of somber history. While filming near a small black fence marking the graves of Miss Henry and her family, Interroller noticed nothing unusual during the visit. However, upon reviewing the video later, they spotted something spine-chilling. A woman dressed in white, calmly walking along the fence. There were no reenactments or other visitors in the area that day, and the mysterious figure wasn't seen by anyone present during the filming. Skeptics have suggested that the woman could simply be a passerby, but the family behind the video insists she wasn't there at the time. Could this be a ghostly appearance of Miss Henry herself, forever tied to the tragic events of that fateful day? Or is it something more explainable? The debate continues, but one thing's for sure, this eerie sighting has left viewers with chills. While hiking deep in the forest, a man stumbled upon something deeply disturbing. The video begins with him navigating the thick woods when he suddenly comes across several eerie stick crosses and a strange teepee constructed from twisted branches. As he films the scene, his camera pans, and that's when he sees her.
Alright, you guys, so we're back here again, and remember the witch that we found? The witch that we caught on camera? Well, I found where it's been living. There's like crosses and stuff here. It's so creepy. And like logs and stuff, like ceremonial shit. And then there's like a teepee. Like look how fucking crazy this is. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh shit. Oh god.
A woman dressed in white, with long black hair, standing completely still in the shadows. Frozen in fear, he quickly turns and flees the forest. But the question remains, who or what did he encounter that night? While hiking through the rugged trails of California, a man stumbled upon something truly bizarre, and he managed to catch it on camera. In the shaky footage, a dark, hairy humanoid figure can be seen striding uphill, moving smoothly on two legs. Despite the low video quality, the creature bears an uncanny resemblance to the legendary Bigfoot. As it reached the hill's peak, it disappeared from view, leaving the stunned hiker questioning what he had just witnessed. Considering California has long been a Bigfoot hotspot with a rising number of reported sightings, some believe this could be yet another encounter with the elusive beast. This man was left shaken after reviewing the CCTV footage from a shed-mounted camera aimed at his cabin's kitchen. While he and his wife were upstairs, the camera recorded something chilling. A shadowy figure moving silently from right to left. The couple was supposed to be alone, so who or what was in their kitchen? One night, a homeowner was startled by strange noises coming from the back of their house. Curious and a little unnerved, they checked their security camera footage. Sure enough, it had picked up something. Later, another camera captured the same chilling sound. At first, it could have been dismissed as a mountain lion or some other wild animal, but the homeowner insisted they'd lived there for years and had never heard anything like it before. Animal or something far more unsettling, no one knows for sure. But one thing's certain, hearing that noise in the dead of night is pure nightmare fuel. In 2008, 4 friends set off on a trip to the woods. One night, while hanging out in their remote rental cabin and playing Wii Sports, they decided to film themselves having fun. But what the camera captured was anything but fun. As they laughed and played, a nearly transparent figure suddenly flashed past the window behind them, completely unnoticed at the time. It wasn't someone casually walking by. It looked more like a ghostly presence that materialized out of thin air. The creepiest part? They were miles from anyone, and supposedly alone. Whatever else happened on that trip remains a mystery, but that eerie footage is enough to send chills down your spine. YouTuber Mortis the Wizard recently ventured deep into the woods after receiving a chilling tip from a former satanic cult member and a local farmer. They warned him about a terrifying location known as the Circle of Lucifer, a place said to be the site of frequent satanic rituals and human sacrifices. When Mortis finally reached the spot, what he discovered was nothing short of horrifying. Scattered around were what looked like human remains, a spine, an arm, and even a hand, with fingers frozen in a disturbing curl. While he tried to convince himself they might be animal bones, the sinister atmosphere and eerie silence made it hard to believe they weren't something far worse. According to the tip, sacrifices were said to occur monthly, possibly even more often, and judging by the number of bones littering the area, this creepy clearing lived up to its terrifying reputation. One night, Reddit user Batman Evans was jolted by strange, unsettling noises echoing from the next room. At first, it was just odd creaks and murmurs, but then came the heavy thumping against the wall. As the sounds grew louder and more frantic, curiosity quickly turned into fear. Unsure of what was unfolding just feet away, they made the tough call to contact emergency services for a wellness check. What they discovered was both haunting and heartbreaking. The neighbor had been trapped in a terrifying sleep paralysis episode, likely triggered by the emotional weight of a recent family tragedy. Let's hope they found some peace since that chilling night. In early April 2024, TikTok user Scaredbugs set out on a bold adventure, exploring a notorious cave on a scorching hot day. The cave had a chilling reputation. Locals claimed eerie noises often echoed from its depths. Intrigued and eager to uncover the mystery, he ventured inside.
Ah, c'è qualcuno? Ehi! Allora, è veramente impressionante. E poi è scavata come una bara. Ed è scavata dall'uomo, vedete? A picconate proprio. È strettissima.
As he stepped further in, an unsettling whistling sound filled the air, sending shivers down his spine.
È angustissima. Angustissima. Io mi fermerò a un certo punto perché non ce la faccio se tu. Merda. No. Aiuto.
But despite the eerie atmosphere, he eventually emerged from the cave unnerved yet completely unharmed. A homeowner living deep in the woods set up a security camera, hoping to capture footage of local wildlife. But what the camera recorded was something far more unsettling. The footage revealed a ghostly, semi-transparent figure moving at an inhuman speed, far faster than anyone could run. Yet, when slowed down, the figure had the unmistakable shape of a person. Who or what was out there in the dead of night, sprinting through the isolated forest? Could it have been a lost traveler, a restless spirit, or something even more mysterious? Perhaps a cryptid lurking in the shadows? While staying at the famously haunted Hotel Monteleone, a woman had a chilling experience she'll never forget. As she stood quietly in the hallway, something in the distance caught her eye, a young boy, eerily still, just standing at the far end of the corridor. Locals whisper of a tragic spirit said to roam these halls. A little boy who appears only to motherly figures. According to legend, he died of illness with no one, especially not his mother, by his side. They say he's still searching for the comfort he was cruelly denied. Was this just a shadow playing tricks? Or a heartbroken soul still clinging to the world he left behind? A Reddit user recently shared a photo that sent chills down the spines of everyone who saw it. At first glance, everything looked normal until you noticed the background. Near the doorway lurked a strange, eerie figure that defied easy explanation. Some brushed it off as an oddly shaped person, or maybe even the hind leg of an animal. But others saw something far darker, a shadowy presence, or the haunting outline of a body being dragged. What was caught in this image, and could it be something sinister? This eerie video, originally posted on Reddit by user Elon Spectre Doctor, has left viewers deeply unsettled. In the footage, a cyclist navigates a pitch-black forest at night, only to stumble upon a pale, unclothed humanoid figure. The cyclist notices the figure, but seems too terrified to approach it, let alone check if it's okay. With almost no context provided, Reddit commenters have been buzzing with theories. Could this be a person in distress, a sleepwalker, or perhaps something more paranormal? What's your take on this chilling clip? During the summer of 2011, a group of friends set out for a camping trip in the remote mountains of Utah, eager for days of fishing and target shooting. But their adventure took a chilling turn. As they explored deeper into the forest, they spotted movement among the trees. What they saw left them frozen in place. A large, mysterious creature, covered in brown hair, lurking just beyond their reach. Before they could get a closer look, it vanished into the dense wilderness, leaving behind only questions. To this day, they've never seen it again. While exploring a dense forest at night, a man couldn't shake the eerie feeling that he wasn't alone. The air felt heavy, charged with something unseen. But it wasn't until he reviewed his footage later that the true horror set in.
Any spirits in these woods? Spirits in these woods. Any spirits in these woods?
A strange wisp of smoke darted past the camera too fast, too defined to be just mist. Slowing it down, his blood ran cold. It wasn't smoky at all. It was a pale, ghostly figure, moving at impossible speed, as if it were riding a bike. Could this be the spirit of a long-lost cyclist, still racing through the night? Late one night, a woman was out for a walk near her home when she spotted something so strange that she pulled out her phone to record it. The eerie footage shows outdoor fitness equipment moving on its own, with no one in sight. Some viewers are convinced it's just clever video editing, while others wonder how such flawless synchronization could be faked. Mechanical malfunctions are rare, but the way these machines move in perfect harmony has fueled wild speculation. Is this an elaborate hoax or chilling proof of something paranormal? After receiving chilling tips from viewers, a team of investigators arrives at an abandoned farm with a dark past. The original family vanished without a trace, and ever since, locals have reported eerie whispers and shadowy figures moving through the decaying house. As they prepare to enter, they briefly film an upstairs window that many claim hides something unnatural. Once inside, they carefully set up their equipment.
Stop. Dude, what was that?
A table jerks violently across the room. Panic sets in. Was something lurking in the shadows of the farm? Or was it all an elaborate hoax? The truth remains buried in mystery. This person captured a bone-chilling moment outside their home, deep in the woods. After hearing eerie, unfamiliar noises, they grabbed a camera and started recording. At first, everything seemed normal, just the quiet, empty darkness. But then, for a fleeting second, a pair of glowing eyes pierced through the night before vanishing without a trace. Was it just an animal reflecting the light? Or something far more unsettling lurking in the shadows? While staying at a secluded bungalow, Carrie decided to take her dog for a familiar stroll through the forest. A path she had walked countless times before, but this time something felt different. A sudden, chilling scream tore through the dense undergrowth, unlike anything she had ever heard. Her dog's ears perked up, his body tense before he erupted into frantic barking, fixated on the unseen source of the sound. A shiver ran down Carrie's spine. Heart pounding, she called him back. Her voice barely steady. Then, through the eerie silence that followed, came something even more unsettling. The words were distant yet unmistakable, distorted as if carried by the wind. Panic tightened around her chest. After what felt like an eternity, her dog finally returned unharmed, but visibly uneasy. Without hesitation, Carrie turned back, practically dragging him along. As she hurried away, the ghostly voice still echoed faintly behind her. If you liked that video, make sure to check out the Dare to Watch YouTube channel, where we have tons of videos just like this. And if you want to see our latest scary hiking encounters, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.